Hello there, Internet. I am your host, J-Man. I welcome you all back to Let's Play Eco. We left off. We basically were able to get the thing open. Oh shit! Do I have to? Okay, so I actually learned something kind of sad recently. So, for those that don't know, there was a YouTuber named your favorite NPC. He was a YouTuber who was known for the Danganronpa community. Although I knew him less from that and more from a shitpost. And more from a shitpost he made about what if Andy and Lele were charged for the crimes throughout the game with the help of peak lawyer Saul Goodman. I Yeah, I wish I knew the cut. So, but yeah, the reason I bring this guy up is because, he died recently. Yeah, the guy, I was trying to find a Danganronpa animax of Class of '09, and, well, uh, I found Frosty Iruma, who, if you don't know, is a prominent Danganronpa ship poster. And yeah, I found out from a community post from the guy that he died in a motorcycle accident months ago. Also, I found out I unintentionally owned Heartbound. Okay, I'm sure basically there's something called the Stop Killing Games Initiative, which was basically some game from some initiative from disgruntled European gamers to try and stop publishers from basically taking games from you offline. Pirate Software was a streamer that basically became their biggest critic. And, well, he did it fuck up because he was not, he basically spread misinformation. And now, but yeah, that's what I didn't know. I only knew of Heartbound because of, well, what happened back then. When the game was revealed, basically, Matt Pat, streamed the game on Game Theory Live, and he but basically the way he made it, the thumbnails made it look like he was it was meant to be like an Undertale spinoff. And he didn't, and Pirate Software didn't like that. Apparently, the guy slowly became yandere dead. Like, I deadass wish that Ninja Muffin was and Phantom Arcade were the switch personalities. Yandere Dead was the cool, chill guy who wanted to make a game and had the talent to do so, the time and talent to do so. And yeah, and Ninja Muffin is the creepy game developer who grooms minors. Yeah, apparently I found out that so there was a game called Crush Crush, which was basically an idle game where you basically try to hit on chicks. The game did have a crossover with Yandere Simulator for a while. I did remember that. However, upon the allegations the guy went through back in 2023, the Red Panda Games, I think they're called, the developers of Crush Crush, announced that Ayano, who, reminder, wasn't even a character he wholly created. Ayano was just a random anime asset that he got off the Unity store. There's a pigeon. Okay, thank God. I was a little worried that the game crashed. Yeah, I don't know how happened last time my PS3's controller's battery was about to die and I had to go in a mad dash to save the project. Yeah, I'm surprised no one recreated this in Gary's mod. Cause this looks like, the game that you would see in Gmod. Hi! I bought the game. Take a shit, I had my race. Yeah, I kind of want to know what it would be like if Eco was multiplayer. Oh yeah, I've kind of proved my point about why I think why I kind of not even sure if Eco counts as a cult classic at this point. A cult classic. Uh, if I remember correctly, God of War was initially going to be a. Apparently, David Jaffe said God of War was supposed to be like he pitched it as the puzzle solving of Eco with the combat Devil May Cry. Yeah, I kind of remember the Dante's Inferno. You know, the God of War clone EA made back in the day. Yeah, I actually looked at. So, July 2021 was pretty much still my toxic phase. As I'm sure you guys all know, I is something off with the visuals here, or is it just my capture card or the version of the game? Oh yeah, and apparently uh I found out that yes, the guys who made this game were the guys who made this game. Yeah, the guys who made this game, who made this remaster, were indeed Blue Point Games. Yeah, what are they doing? I'm really hoping Sony doesn't close them down because they made the team. When's the last time we've heard from the guys? Like, we haven't heard from them since. Demon Souls came out. And yeah, I wonder why they picked Shadow of the Colossus over this game, because this game needed a remake. Yeah, let's see, I have my way. You were there. Yeah, let me just check the... Because, like I said, I did all of that just to get to a guy. Oh yeah, Space Adventure Cobra. Um, The Awakening got released, and honestly, I like it. Okay, as I said, if you don't know what it is, Space Adventure Cobra was an anime for the 70s and early 80s that basically about this space pirate named Cobra who was basically on his adventures about him and his fembot sidekick, Lady Android. It was a big deal in France. Like, Bayashi Cuckoo, what's going on? Midnight fog, midnight fog. Wa silhouette. Ah, Hachiya Yashiku, Yasusa. Kobura, me blue, Kobura. Yeah, imagine if MatPat, like, an alternate time where you're like, by the way, this guy's not gonna finish his cave. Yeah, I even got like a heart from Mike Roy's on there when I kind of explained what the anime was, and now apparently the devs, the new Cobra game that's gonna come out. I played it and it's good, like not like amazing, but playable, which is saying a lot. But gotta remember, this is Mike Roy's. I'm not sure it'll be like game. It's not game of the year material or anything, but definitely a passable game. It's definitely a Metroid clone. Get up! good. I'm guessing they didn't want to deal with Yorda's frustrating AI. And yeah, they even did they even what's cool about the game is like apparently the Space Venture Cobra: The Awakening is what the game's called. Is apparently, from what I know, it's basically a retelling of the anime, and get this, it's dubbed. Yeah, imagine this game was multiplayer. Did Fumito Ueda consider that at one point? Like, yeah, no Heartless. John Eco. Yeah, I mean, Split Fiction and almost anything from that guy's studio. Yeah, does anybody remember when he won game when It Takes Two won Game of the Year? Like, I don't think even he was expecting to win. I only know one scene from that game where basically the parents. Okay, from what I know, the story of It Takes Two is that is that two parents are or their marriage is basically on the rock, and they're just uh one cheating away from from divorce. Apparently, the guy was a filmmaker before making And yeah, like he won Game of the Year, and I don't think even he was expecting to win because I kind of reminded of I think it was Steve Buscemi for Goodfellas. That scene in Goodfellas where, okay, basically Steve Buscemi won Best Actor at the Oscars, and even he didn't think he was going to win. Like, and which and when he did win, he had like a very, very brief acceptance speech, being like, "Okay, thanks, I guess." Yeah, I just the guy just said, just showed up, got the award, and left. Refused to elaborate and left. Yeah, I don't know if if Split Fiction was published by EA because um EA published it under like their EA Originals line, which I'm guessing is meant to be like their version of the Square Enix Initiative. The only thing I kind of knew about It Takes Two was that there's a scene, spoilers. Basically, when the main character, the parents are turned into toys. Uh, and there's this cute little elephant that was super nice, but the only one basically they had to kill it because to try and get their daughter's attention. It's a very heart-wrenching scene, and however, during the ending, they managed to put her back together. Yeah, I was looking at my yeah, earlier I decided to look at pictures of my grandparents' house. I said before that somebody that in 2021 when about a year after my grandparents died, we weren't allowed to keep the house. I guess we couldn't afford it, and we just thought, and we had to sell it off. And that in the house, and the owner of the house, the person that ended up getting the house, getting the house. Well, didn't even show up at the estate sale, and then in 2022 we found out that she demolished the house. Oh yeah, make matters worse, we found out like a day after. Basically, what our neighbors like came out to give it one of my grandparents will one of my grandparents' neighbors came by to give us some food to get food to buy us food because I think that's a thing people do when people die. And to make matters worse, yeah, they turned down the house like a day later. Oh yeah, making things sadder was around the time my grandparents got rid of the house. My parents' house. We went to Colorado, which, as I said before, was the last time I left my state prior to my trip to Los Angeles last year. And even then, 2021 was I called the growing pains year for COVID. I mean, COVID still happened. I mean, we were still trying to know what the hell we need to do after COVID. I call it a growing pains year for post-COVID. In fact, lately I started to have a theory about the Zenkaiger, because Zenkaiger's more lighthearted tone was, and to an extent the lighthearted tone. So the lighthearted tone for Kamen Rider Decade of Kamen Rider Forze was done because of it, because it was done after in light of the 2011 earthquake that happened around that time. And Zenkaiger, but okay, I know there was like a lot more CGI that was used in Kamen Rider Saber. Kamen Rider Saber, if I'm correct. I think the Kikinoids were existed, and why the ring. Apparently they say it's because like to show the diversity of each team was kind of why the Kikinoids were the Rangers in that season. Oh man, and I think it was done because so they could have, so they wouldn't risk COVID because a lot less extras. And I already said this beforehand that Jiru's actor for Kamen Rider for the greatest show ever made for Kirame Hija Achiga Hija Agiga Sketchibuku wo Yume ni hajime yase Ugo no tena Igaku kikachita Doki doki doka giga gikare kuchi Yume hi yomakero. I love that show's theme song. Kiramaki! And yeah, I even like kind of heard some memes about people jokingly saying that Kira Major was that it was a Tokyuger. Imero zen 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 ono zen kai. Imero zen 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 ono zen kai. Whoa! Woman! I don't know how to carry a young boy. Oh yeah, apparently I found out about, so I can't remember some weird game like from, I was watching some of Rebel Taxi's old videos, and apparently there's like a video he made about aliens, about a game from Capcom called, and I mean it's a very obscure game from them called Under the Skin, where basically the whole shtick is that you play as an alien that's trying to, going around causing chaos on Earth, and apparently the guy who created that game, like he left Capcom and actually worked on Vanquish. But he is but according to Shinji Mikami, the guy doesn't work in the video game industry anymore. That's a shame. The actor. But apparently something I find weird is that one of the levels is straight up Raccoon City. And you even run into Jill. Apparently you're basically looks like you're not only just you, but you're trying to compete against another alien each level. Honestly, with the cel shaded art style, I was expecting the game to be to have a Beautiful Joe cameo. Since it looks so much like Beautiful Joe. But no, they just threw in Resident Evil. Like, and there already like was a virus as as part of as a game mechanic in that game, and the virus affects your items. It, basically, the opponents in that mission were every opponent you run into is you have like you compete against another alien trying to see if it could cause more mischief on Earth to piss people off and try and like includes things like shooting them with a gun. Like, I mean, it's America, so there's that. It's just a prank, bro. But one of these is Raccoon City, and like, what? And even run the Jill and the other guy from Resident Evil 3, and your opponent at that level is friggin' Nemesis. What was Capcom thinking? And I won't be. I've heard he has a theory that the game was inspired by Lilo and Stitch, because I don't know if anyone knows this, but Stitch is huge in Japan. Like, he was a very beloved character there. Like, they still do a lot with him. Like, there was an anime with him where Lilo stopped hanging out with him because she had a boyfriend or something. I mean, even China likes the guy. Like, China had like their own spinoff too. Now you're jamming, jamming hard, yeah. Get you, you're going up. How's our time to lose? You're yet to be. Shout it out. Y'all make mistakes. You're the killer bee. Da, 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 da. Now you're jamming. Jamming hard, yeah. Try to hype it up. Now you're jamming. Jamming hard, yeah. Mm. Try to hype it up. She a magical girl. Well, hi, it's me, Pickles Cage, and, what do you boys think of this? Okay, I know it's weird, like, quoting, making a J-Mod reference, but, I don't think I ever brought this up in the 5th anniversary stream, but originally that scene with Pickles Cage was supposed to have him, now you're jamming. Jamming hard, yeah. Try to hype it up. Get juice. You're going up. Yeah, I even kind of like some guy like reviewing that game, reviewing Go Go Hyper Grind, and I had a theory that the game was why the. Okay, if you don't know what it is, it's a skateboarding game from that's a bizarre mishmash. For one, it was published by Atlas, who are known for many things, but sports games aren't one of them. And even weirder, it was the character. It was done by. It was also made as a collab with Spumco, aka the guys that the show at the studio founded by the guy who created Ren and Stimpy. You know, the guy pretty much everyone. One of the most infamous sex pests in the animation industry. That was basically Dan Schneider before Dan Schneider. The whole shtick of the game is that basically it's the whole shtick is that in this universe, cartoons are made are there's like a toon world where cartoons are filmed, and they're trying to keep heat against CGI. Yeah, well, think it's gone long enough as is, so I'm gonna end the episode here. Like, subscribe, let's see ya.